So here I am with my fighting kite, and I've been working on the wing material. And so what I've been doing is taking it and working it between my thumb and fingers to make it more supple, to make it more bendable, and to shape it to the shape I want. And that's all I have to do because it's flexible, but it's also it stays where you put it. So it is indeed plastic. That's what the word plastic means. And so now I have a wing. And as I worked it, the glue that I use, which is just plain old Elmer's glue. This is a coffee filter on a bamboo skewer. Oops, I lost one of my tails just now. That's okay. And what I'm doing is just working this all the way around. You can't tear it. It doesn't tear anymore. This is a coffee filter, the thinnest possible kind. Um, and it is now impervious to ripping and tearing. Because I added some Elmer's glue in the middle, and when it dried, there was, kind of spotty places all through it where there was more glue or less glue. And so I then took a brush and brushed this on, or just poured it on, from a bottle of Elmer's glue, and then smushed it in with my fingers on both sides. So I put it in the middle to start with to kind of glue everything together, and then pop my little holes in there and stuff. Um, and this is, a fixed kind of haphazardly at the moment. I don't think I'll fly it that way. But it served its purpose because what I wanted to do was see if I could build a wing that is kind of semi-rigid at the moment, and when I'm done, it actually will be rigid. Because I'm going to make this supple first by work softening it. When you work metal, you work harden it. And this is a fabric. It's a bioplastic made from paper and Elmer's glue. Okay, so we're not talking super high-tech stuff or something that costs a lot of money to produce, because you can make paper out of just about anything, like scrap clothing, scraps of cloth, used shop rags, um, confetti. The paper shredding industry for businesses produces thousands of tons of the stuff a day. And they sell it by the ton real cheap. And you can make paper out of it by adding water. You grind it up in a blender, and you add water, and you can pour it over a screen, the resulting sludge, and then you whack it with a hammer, bop, 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 and it makes it stick together. Because the paper itself is made out of with cellulose. Okay, so what I've done is taken this glue is like a natural latex, like maybe rubber, even, I don't know. But it's definitely non-toxic. Okay, so it's not petroleum based. It's something bio that Elmer's glue makes, And it looks like, maybe dandelion um, latex, that white stuff that comes out of dandelions. Comes out of a lot of plants. It's like rubber terpenes, little short chain hydrocarbons. So, and it's a natural glue. Okay, so this isn't something I'd want to fly yet, not until till I make it a little more rigid. Okay, but I've got a good shape going here, and I can work it some more. And as I work it, these bumps are going away. Because that's what they are. They're just, areas that dried with the more or less glue in them. And as I work it, it just works out into a semi-flexible fabric made out of paper and natural plastic. I can take this and grind it up and put it in my garden. I can eat with it. I can eat on it. I can hold water in it. I can make paper to look like anything. I can print it with like a sludge that would come through a 3D printer and print it to look like anything. And if I want it to get hard, then I spray shellac on the outside. See, once I've got the shape I want, then I can set that shape, and it becomes a semi-rigid construction so that it will flex like metal and return to its shape, the shape that you set here, over and over and over again, about 50,000 times more than metal can do. Because we're using, this is serious carbon fiber in here, right? That's what paper is, carbon. And of course, other things like cellulose, which is a hydrocarbon. In fact, living things are made out of 4 basic elements: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. And carbon has carbon-14, which gives off an electron, and that neutron becomes a proton, and it becomes nitrogen. So they're all kind of tied up together, and they make the elements of all living things. Okay? If we take petroleum oil out of the ground, it's petrified oil. It's turned into a rock, and those are no longer short-chain hydrocarbons. They're long-chain hydrocarbons, and we have to heat that oil up to a couple of thousand degrees Celsius to break those chains into usable gases and oils. And at each and every step of the way, from exploration through drilling and production, refinery. I happen to have worked for Raytheon engineers and constructors. We built refineries when I was there in Saudi Arabia, 2 of them. And they are no-go zones when people, they build new ones, because the old ones get all sludged out, and the ground is so poisoned, they become ecological no-go zones. You can't even walk around. I mean, it's like Chernobyl, right? From poison oil. And when we burn it in our cars or make plastics out of it, it doesn't go away because they're those long chain hydrocarbons. They can't. They're already petrified, man. They turned into a rock. And that's why they're so bad in our air and stuff. And in our body, because plastics made from that shit, and that's what it is, shit. It off gases, right? It gives off fumes that you can't see, but they go into your food. And when they go into your food, they go into you. And you know what? They'll keep selling it to us for as long as we buy it. If you want to vote for things, that's how you vote. With your wallet. And with your behaviors, because we can make plastics out of paper and glue. And I can set this to be as hard as, and kind of flexible, right? Like fiberglass. Exactly like fiberglass, but it's absolutely non-toxic, man. I swear, there are 8 billion little kids that have eaten white glue in school, and they tell their mother, it's okay, Mom. It's really good stuff, they say. And they eat the stuff, and, you know. I was not such a child. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't, but you know what? The bugs in the ground, I can put this in my garden. And I can eat meals off of this. And my children can eat off of it. If we don't change our evil ways, we're not going to have a planet to live on. Because we're going to drown in our own shit.